Hi, everybody. Can you hear me? Yeah, okay, thank you very much. My title is From Research to Market. The reason I choose this title because last time when I came back from UK, it feels like a monster to transform the research to market. I've been trained as a researcher because 4 years in UK, in Leeds, doing my PhD, I've been trained as a researcher. But I've never been trained as a businesswoman. But then in Malaysia university, generally, too obsessed. We are in Malaysians, especially in university, they are too obsessed to commercialize their research output. They keep saying to us, commercialize, commercialize, commercialize. But we are not businesswomen, we are not businessmen. We are just doing research. So, but then they keep saying that without really understand the journey of research and commercialization in depth. They did not realize different area, different subject, different way to commercialize it. Their short way, their long way is different. So, generally, commercialization of research output will take 5 to 10 years process. And I just know that after I've been in there, 5 to 10 years, imagine that. Our expectation is once the output coming out from the lab, it should be commercialized. And we becoming stressed because we cannot manage to commercialize our research. Since research in most of universities are slow process, and industry tends to move faster than university, academicians need to think 10 years ahead when they want to start. So, we as a researcher moving a little bit slow compared to the industry. Industry move faster than us. So if we tend to commercialize our research, we have to think 10 years ahead. Yeah, so we have to think when we start our project, our new research, we have to think 10 years ahead. Imagine that. 10 years, especially in our area, computer science. 10 years, all right. We manage, we survive, right? So the question is, can academician and industry in Malaysia be ever talking at the same language? Can we talk same language, the industry and the academicians, right? For university, high quality papers with innovative idea is the most important. At the same time, they expect us to publish paper, to do research and publish a very good paper. But for industry, profit and incremental improvement of more or less major product with established market share is the most important. See, they want a business that produce a good product. At the same time, we have to produce a very good research and papers. So to commercialize research output, it is important to think at least 10 years ahead. Okay, 10 years ahead, I mean we can produce, we have to produce a good paper that listed an impact factor, right? Establish the expertise within the field. So if we want to produce a very good product, we have to work together with a good expert with a similar or the need, the requirement for the product. Protect the innovation with IP, intellectual property. Imagine that when I come back from UK, for me, IP is like a monster too. What is IP? What is patent? What is copyright? Yeah, it's like a big monster to me. So I have to search and learn from that. What is IP? So, and then publish good quality paper to justify with critical reasoning. At the same time, we have to publish paper. Other than we have to justify our finding, we also want to put a flag. This is our work. Put the flags, everybody knows. And be patient. Unfortunately, we are not so patient. But we have to be patient. So there are 10 simple rules to commercialize scientific research. So there are actually rules. And I did not realize that there is a rules. Rules 1. What drives science does not drive business. Imagine that. We are so eager with our research. We are so eager with our findings. But the business people will not so eager with it. Might be the business people just want a simple product. Just like a mobile app, a simple mobile app. But we tend to do a very big product. a very good, excellent product. Rule 2, there is no single path to commercializations. There's no single path. Every single subject, every single area have a different path. Rule 3, you must know your rights and dues of colleague. You have to understand your right. Rule 4, consider the implications of going from public to private. Why have to consider? Because public have a lot of rules that we have to follow, protocol that we have to follow. But the private is much more simpler. That is my mind about it. I'm not sure about private, but that's, I think, real situations. Rule 5, decide how much of yourself you want to give in, how much you want to commit. Business is not something that you can play around. For researcher, for academicians, if you fail, you still get salary. But for the business, if you fail, you will not get anything, right? Rule 6, separate the R and the D and be realistic. So you have to separate the research and the development. Rule 7, the market may not exist at the outset. Once you go out, doesn't mean that your product have a demand on the market. Rules 8, consider the want versus the need. So once you have the product, you have to think about, is it want, is it need? Rule 9, make it comprehensive. That's the difficulties of a researcher. They tend to explain technically, but market don't want that. Rule 10, customers are the ultimate peer review. Again, researcher always have a technical people who do the review, but we have to go for layman who's going to use our product. So let me relate to my work. My work is, I'm focusing with the CSD. I name it as CSD because it's on the computer-assisted surgery and diagnostic. My intention, my focus is more on the medical imaging, to analyze the image and to help the doctors to diagnose by looking into the images. Okay, it started in 2009, this research. Start from the fundamentals research, go to application research. We managed to publish 26 journals for this project, conference proceeding 25 for this project, 4 patented project, 6 copyrighted software. And of course, we are focused on cardiac images, and it's ready in 2014. 2009 start, ready 2014. It has several output. We combine together this output to have one big product. Yeah. And this is the output, one of the output. We name as a PAC, Picture Archive Communication System, where this software communicate with the devices in the hospital, like MRI, CT, X-ray, as long as a digital format and a DICOM standard. And then send to the system, and the system will display, and the doctors can do the diagnosis through this system whenever they can retrieve the images. They even can retrieve it in the house, they can retrieve it in the hospital or in the office. So this is our system. But we managed to commercialize it. It's a very good system. It's not so many competitors, right? So think about the checklist again. At least 10 years ahead, yeah, when we started Picture Archive Communication System, PAC system is not there yet. Only radiology system exists. We start with that. Established expertise within the field, yes. We have computer graphic, we have a database people, we have doctors, medical doctors in this group. Protect the innovation with IP, yes, we have protected. Publish good quality paper to justify with critical reasoning, yes, we have managed it. Patients, a question mark. Do we have enough patients in Malaysia? Yeah. So 2014 is ready to market, and now it's 2018. Is there any client? Unfortunately, not yet. Potential client? Yes, there are 3 or 4 hospitals interested with this system, but only potential client. So check the 10 rules. Rules 1, what drives science does not drive business. We start with cardiothoracic problems. Then we change to clinical database because we realize in business only few that use cardiothoracic system. So we have to make it generalized for business. Then at the end for the clinical database, again, we have to transform to a PAC system. Because clinical database system, we have HIS in the hospital, Hospital Information System, which already been making bigger functions, right? So little bit failed there. Rules 2, there is no single path to commercializations. Market demand, competitors, business model, and the price. So market demand, what is the market demand? We forgot about that. Competitors, we have a lot of competitors. Philips, GE, so many big gun companies, which is outside internationals. How are we going to compete? Business model, we have to keep changing our business model. And then the price. Big hospital, yeah, they have a big budget. But for the small hospital, they don't have that enough budget. Rules 3, you must know your rights and dues of colleague, ownership, shareholder. Who is the owner? The owner is UPM because I'm working in UPM. So I have to pay the licensing fees, which is not that cheap. Rule 4, consider the implication of going from public to private. Do I need to sacrifice myself? I don't think so. I don't. I love my job. Rule 5, decide how much of yourself you want to give. As a lecturer, you have classes to teach. You have students to supervise. You have to chase a research grant. So how much do I have? We only have 24 hours. And how much do I have to spare myself to give in to this project? So rule 6, separate the R&D and be realistic. So I have to be realistic. I start with the cardiothoracic images. I start with the cardiothoracic images. I work with the cardiac surgeon. I work with the cardiologist. But the market is not there. So I have to change to general medical image. And currently have to work with the radiologist. Rule 7, the market may not exist at the outset. Once come out, clinics don't have enough budget. Hospital already have their PAC. So rule 8, consider the want versus the need. PAC system is not have to have. They are good to have. They have two categories. Have to have, have to have, and yeah, nice to have, sorry. Nice to have. And it's nice to have, the budget is the secondary. Make it understandable. Practice on how to pitch. I'm a researcher. I'm tends to explain in technical. I'm not like like business people, even though they train me to pitch. Rule 10, customers are ultimate peer review. Of course, we met the customer and the potential customer. So commercialization of research output will take 5 to 10 years process. That's one of in the early stage, in the early slide. The product ready to market in 2014. Now it's 2018. So only 4 years. So I have 1 to 6 years to go at my age. So do I have enough patience for this? Yeah, have to survive, right? So hopefully within next year or next 2 years, at least I have 1 client, and at least I can show to other people this project success. Thank you very much.